David, you did the buddy quiz thing. Can you explain that real quick? Like, where did you get that thing from?
The internet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, great. Yeah.
Cool. No. So it's been making its like way across my socials, and then someone linked it to me, and I was just like, oh, this is a good moment. This is a good moment. So I did theirs. I don't want to give up my fucking score because they can go fuck themselves. They lied to on theirs. But then I did mine. But like initially, I wasn't. I didn't. All the answers are legit, John. Despite the fact that you think you're so fucking superior by thinking you knowing me better than I know myself. You know, I was very specific with how I wrote my questions. All right? I was very lawyery with the wording I used. So the answers were the answers. But I thought it was a good moment for us. You know, something like that we can do in our little spare time that we all have.
It definitely took about 30 minutes, like it was my time, which I felt was very useful. You know?
I actually thought it was useful. I thought it was a good little exercise. Right, like a good little exercise of yourself to come up with some quirky questions, because obviously the quiz, like, and John, you'll probably throw it up on Instagram afterwards or whatever, because I think the gimmick needs to be out there on the socials. But it was a good little exercise in knowing yourself, right, and like coming up with your own kind of questions, because they had gimmick questions that they could have used, but I was like, fuck that, I'm not going to use any single one of them. Like, I'm going to come up with my own questions, and honestly, I thought like
that's the better way to do it for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like that Subway one I did. That one got the resounding amount of pops.
I was very 50-50 because like you did A, B, C, D for all of them, and then when I did mine, I copied your template as well, David.
Yeah.
And it's the best way to do it. Just do it classic educational format, A to D. And man, I was split. Like, for some reason, I was like, oh, surely he's a raps guy. And I clicked on it. And I don't know why, David, that I thought I'd known you for 3.5 years now, and I thought you were a rap guy. I'm so sorry that I thought that you were. You know,
very few people got that one right. But if you have seen me order a Subway consistently, then I always revert back to the same one, right? Because I from now and then, like Subway will pull out like a gimmick sub, right? It'll be like, oh, the Parma sub, or like pesto chicken, and I'll be like, oh fuck yeah, I'll fuck with that for about a week and a half, which I do, right? And for a week and a half, that will be my sub. So it just so happens that a lot of people seem to have fallen into like these little time frames where they've experienced me order a Subway in that very weird universe where I've only ordered it once or twice in that week and a half, but then after that I revert back to my gimmick, right? It's the same for a lot of things on that thing. But yeah, it's a test of yourself, and it's a beautiful way of like learning about other people. There are some things that I learned from you, Locke, from your fucking quiz that I'm still absolutely fucking salty about.
David, just because you got 3, But to be like, I tried to make it relatively balanced. Like, I had to put some like hard ones in there that, like, if you spent enough time with me, I would have spoken about it at least once.
Yeah,
I think where you went wrong, Locke, was because I fucking chased you up afterwards. I'm like, this is bullshit, all right, bro. I know you, right? I should have at least gotten at least 5 or 6. And then you hit me up, and you're like, bro, oh, no. Where you lost me was then like, oh, this is publicly accessible information. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. If you
it's literally not.
You ask me the question, then it's public.
Actually, a lot of it is actually in previous episodes of Pint Party. That's how I got my score. I got 5 out of 10.
And that's exactly right. John did the quiz as well. I got 5 out of 10. And he's the producer. He spends more.
I did misclick the eyebrow one. I went mouth, but no, I know what you're. No, bro. Come on, Locke. The amount of times we've discussed your eyebrows, I knew it was your eyebrows, and it was fucking right under it. And it was on my phone when I was doing it. I was fucking so salty when that happened. I should have at least. Smile was close. I knew Smile was up there, but I knew eyebrows number 1. When it comes, you could not be more vocal when it comes to your eyebrows.
It's gotten to the point where I literally go out of my way to brag to girls about them.
Now, before we get too off track and start talking about Lockie's eyebrows, David, on your one, I got to say I did take your test twice. You saw that I put my name in twice, and I got because the first time though, you're right though. I think it should be the score that I should actually accept, and that was 7 out of 10. I'm pretty happy with that. And then the second time I got 9, but that's because I'd already taken the test twice. But I actually have a little bit of a confession to make. I actually took the test 3 times.
Yeah, I knew you were number 1. I'm not an idiot. Yeah. I'm not an idiot, John.
I'm Dwayne Johnson, and with that, welcome to Pint Party, a podcast designed to turn a beer into a chat into a tax write-off. I'm your host, John McLeish, and joining me this week is the Gimmick Gang in its entirety. David Yang, Ricky Needs, and Lachlan Beasley. Boys, welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure if Ricky slipped out of the call or not, because honestly, you were so quiet and timid, little Ricky.
Well, I tried to write one of those quizzes, and the minute I went to submit it, the website timed out, and I lost all my answers, so I couldn't be fucked doing it again. Because you're
I
right,
feel that.
That's a
going
sign.
through and making custom ones for every single one, which I did, just is time consuming, and I couldn't be fucked doing it twice.
Mhm.
And also I did really poorly on everyone's quizzes, so I don't.
It's a beautiful thing because I got to about, I want to say, conservatively.
Ricky?
I haven't done yours yet, but the ones that I did poorly. So I was just like, well, fuck it, I don't care.
Do Lachlan's one. You'll fucking fail because he's a bullshit. They're not public information.
Mine's fantastic.
And he lies about himself.
So good.
No.
Lies about himself.
The ones that aren't public information, you can logic out. Like the one of them was which one is Lachlan's favorite movie, and if you know Lachlan, you don't actually have to know. You never had to talk to him and said, "Oh, Lockie, which is your favorite movie?" Like you can logic it out based on the answers that are there. It's actually a really good like ABCD type of a question.
Yeah, mine was designed that way too.
I made it so like it actually gives you a go. Like I'm not just fucking throwing left curveballs at you the entire time. I'm trying to make it balanced.
But there's also nothing wrong with the fucking curveball. It's a quiz about oneself. It's not like any of the answers were wrong. I feel like people are coming at mine, being like, "Oh, this was wrong. This was wrong." It's like, no. I was very clear with my wording. It is not my fault that you have a limited window of exposure to me.
Well, one of them you weren't super clear on. One of them you just said, "What's your favorite word?" But you didn't define favorite, like as in most.
Well,
used.
I know for a fact, like doing with David for years on radio, we've actually even had this discussion. Like, what's your favorite word?
Yeah.
And what is it, Locke?
It's queef.
Yeah. So there's two
Gets
words.
me every time.
So there's two words, right? So there's queef. There you go. I knew I had to give that one a little bit of breathing room. And then the other word, right? So that's the one that makes him pop every single time, right? As demonstrated. In fact, look, I'll demonstrate it again. Queef. Yeah, now he mutes his mic.
And then the other one's areola.
And then no. The other one that was on that list that I remember was yeet. Now the reason why
No, yeet's not my favorite word.
Let me explain my logic for why I thought that was the answer. I thought that was the answer based on how often you use the word. So like I went.
The gimmick would have been on the list.
So I went through like you know how like the episode of Futurama where Bender goes through his top 10 most used words. I went through like David's top 10 most used words, and number one on that list in my mind was yeet.
Jeez, what would be my most? It's gimmick. It'd be gimmick.
I think you're right, though. I think it would be gimmick, but I don't remember seeing gimmick as one of the choices.
Oh, it wasn't. That's the reason why it wasn't that kind of. Anyway, we digress. We digress.
We digress. Yeah.
We digress.
So anyway, yeah. So these buddy quizzes, that's now a thing. By the way, has anybody checked if you sign up for these things, are the Russians like buying all your information to like stare at you?
Honestly, I didn't take the time. I was having too much fun thinking about questions about myself.
See, and that was what I was getting at before as my point. I got to maybe, I want to say like 5 questions in before I had to like look at myself and go, geez, what else could I possibly really ask? And then I was stretching for like gimmick questions.
I thought the hardest question I put on mine was Lachlan dropped a girl during a year 10 play or during a play. What was the name of that girl? And I was kind of thinking after I submitted the quiz, I'm like, oh, that's a real personal story that I haven't even discussed on Pint Party. So it's not like...
I still can't believe that you and I share the exact same year or like birth, as in like how old we were when we lost our virginity. I think that is still like just the connectivity between us, undeniable.
Don't get weird, Dave.
Undeniable, buddy.
But I feel like that's just that. Like, if you think of the bell curve in which the years it happens for different people, I feel like we're still in a large scope of people.
No, I actually reckon. I reckon maybe we might be a bit overestimating it. I think if we had to really like take the aggregate of, and just in Australian Western culture, not taking in the whole world because it'd be a bit different, a bit skewed. But I think maybe it's around the age of 17 to 18. I reckon maybe we're thinking a bit too much into it.
We're just very promiscuous.
Yeah. Especially like if I'm going back to like just my demographic in high school. I remember like a lot of people started like shackling down at 17, like as soon as they got to like year 11 and 12.
Well, did yours come through a random encounter or a long-term relationship?
Long-term relationship, but it started at 14 and then it hit 15 when it hit its stride. Which is that similar to you?
Yeah, similar.
Jeez, we're learning a lot about it. Yeah, that lung love.
Everything is so cookie cutter. Everyone pretty much has the exact same teenage years. It's funny.
Would you say that's actually your first love, or now that you're looking back at it, you're going, that wasn't love. That was that was high school. Like That was high school stupidity.
That's high school goggles, man.
That's high school goggles, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're hunting because I spent a lot of my times watching coming of age films, and I was looking for those experiences, just like Dustin Hoffman or anyone else, right?
Mm.
Or Ferris Bueller. I always thought of
Did you-
myself more
did you
of a
wanna
Ferris
find
Bueller
your-
in high school.
Did you want to find your Mrs. Robinson?
No, I wasn't that far gone yet. That was more when I hit 19.
Okay.
But in saying that though, I don't classify it like if you ever hear the question like, oh, have you ever been in love, all that kind of stuff. I say no, but I do factor it in on the checkbox of have been in a relationship, and that was my first one. I do count high school relationships, just not the extent of emotion of it. Just throwing that out there.
Well, yes. As we state, when you're going through puberty and all those fun teenage years, lots of range of emotions will happen, and you just do your best to work through them.
And one of the ways
breakers involved. Like I must say, I've had times where I wrote a girl in year 9. I want to say year 9, a poem that I wrote. And
yeah, but we've been there.
Yeah, I've done that.
Man, I tail dived so quickly. She like ran away.
Oh, really?
I think my favorite one is like a public Facebook post. Like, no, not Facebook. Maybe it might have been MySpace at that time actually, where it was like, you really like to express your feelings like publicly. So like, it wasn't before we broke. No, it was before we broke up. But it was like leading into that, like only a couple of weeks before it happened, start like, more fighting and that kind of stuff. I remember so vividly, just like logging on at like 9 p.m. at night on MySpace, and then just doing like classic like capital letter, lowercase letter, capital letter like sequence, but then like airing my emotions gimmick.
Oh my god!
And like PM me if you know.
Oh, that like attention seeking.
Yeah, like I'm throwing out the reel, and I'm just fishing for people to come like DM me real quick, and then like, oh my god, are you okay? I was a piece of shit in high school.
I honestly don't think I've ever like publicly posted about a girl and or relationship on any sort of social media ever.
Yeah, no. The closest I ever got to that was my first girlfriend really, really, really wanted me to write her a poem. Like, it wasn't like yours, Locke, where it was like, you wrote a poem and she ran away. No, my girlfriend was like, please write me a poem.
Mine was full of symbolism and everything. I don't know where I went wrong.
Yeah, well, no, like for her, she was like desperate. She was just like, come on, please, 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 please. Because like the first time I ever sent her a poem was literally, I just like spent 5 seconds Googling love poem and sent her the first thing I found.
Got to get that template. Got to get the vibe right.
Right. And then after that, she wanted me to write my own. So I like sat down and I was like, I didn't want to do it. And then for like a month, she was on my case about it. And so eventually I sat down for like 2 hours and wrote this fucking thing. And it was a piece of shit. I mean, it was like, I was 13. It was like 13-year-old shitty love poetry. I don't even know where it is anymore. It's probably sitting on a server somewhere. And fucking sent that to her, and she was absolutely rapt about it. To be fair, she was also 13, so like, by 13-year-old standards, it was fucking, high literature.
I'm sure at this point you're writing anything that's very derivative. Anyway, I'm sure.
Fucking A, it absolutely probably was a derivative piece of shit. I don't know.
I like going back and seeing like how I used to write when I was like 13, 14, 15. Like, not in terms of like Facebook statuses, but like I've got like, I did like a bit of a deep dive a couple of weeks ago.
Let's just have a look of what is it? What did Facebook do? It's like things of the day or something.
Yeah. So like on this day 7 years ago, they'll do like one of those gimmicks or like Facebook memories. Yeah, they'll do. Yeah. But like, no, I'm not even talking about Facebook. Like Facebook status is a whole different fucking ballgame in itself.
Well, not many people understand. I think when young people reflect on statuses we've made years ago, you got to understand Facebook was more like a journal. Honestly, you kind of just write shit. Like there wasn't much political. Like it wasn't more about conversation. It was more just making statements.
At the same time, you got to remember back when people were writing Facebook statuses, we didn't have the messenger system.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Facebook came. The timeline aspect of it was first, then the messenger aspect, the social media aspect of like MSN got incorporated like a little bit later. So a lot of like early statuses is your communication with everyone anyway.
Well, yeah, like in April 11th, 2011 at 10:40 p.m. I said covered 3 shopping centers and 1 dairy bowl at all 3 bus 2 trains.
All right, you're gonna make me do it.
Pokey tongue face. ... Good day. That was well wasted, and I got 1 like.
You're gonna make me do it. You're gonna make me one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Memories. All right, I've got 9. Fuck, I don't even want to know.
No.
Just pick the best one.
11th of April 2012. Literally the status got 4 likes and it was just casting couch, full stop.
What?
One comment from one of my mates, love heart. 8
Oh.
years ago. I'm about this.
I just found my my memories, and let's see. 6 years ago, off to the footy, let's go Tigers. Something about me drinking 7 years ago. A meme from 7 years ago from what looks to be it's the Louis show, and I'm guessing another post about the footy, because all it says is still on a fucking high. Is this real? Is this real or still the best dream ever?
Dude, I had a big day on April 11, 2012. I had like 10 different fucking status updates.
Really?
Like I said, this was before Messenger existed, so this was your way of like, I'm just talking to people.
I'm trying to suss out what this post is about. Still on a fucking high. Is this real or still the best dream ever? From April 11th, 2010.
Jesus
Did you go to a-
Christ.
Did you go
I
to
got one from 2010 as well.
Maybe you just got back from the dentist and they gave you way too much helium.
True.
Or nitrous.
Either
sorry.
that or like, okay, so hang on.
Nitrous, not helium.
Yeah, I'm not going to read out my memories because these are pretty fucking awful. I'm not.
Well, I
gonna
got
do it.
one from fucking 2010 as well, telling people I'm just dyeing my hair, bro.
I mean, my one here sounds like a fucking like. I mean, it's pretty teenager. Here we go. Fuck it. April 11, 2010 at 6:14 p.m. I don't even remember what the fucking context for this is, but here we go. I've only done less than half of my homework, and since I've found out that the remainder of my time at Wellington, that's my high school, will be fruitless, I don't give a shit about doing the rest. Besides, the holidays are for relaxing and taking a break from school.
Jeez, John, you wrote statuses in your day.
Yeah.
Like you wrote
Honestly,
and curated statuses.
This is just a collection of just shit first world problems.
It is. That was. I don't even understand what the content. I mean, I never did homework in high school. So the one fucking time I do homework, and here I am saying I'm not going to do it. Like
Complaining about the one time you do it, like, oh, this sucks.
I know, right?
No wonder I don't do it.
All right, yeah, that's 17-year-old John right there. Fuck.
Just having a look at mine. I can't.
Wait, no, 16-year-old John.
Like I didn't crack past like 4 likes on a fucking status for years.
Yeah, well, mine at two likes for that weird status about me being high or some shit. I'm actually trying to work out what that is for.
Yeah,
but I cannot find anything else in my feed that's like around there that like gives me an indication of why I was on a high at. Well, actually, it's 11:45 at night, so there could be a few reasons why. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
on.
In fact, I'm actually glad we did this. I'm glad that we went into our memories because there's one here that I'm just going to straight up delete. Like, nope, that's not. That I don't need that one. That's
Isn't that a
pretty
fucking
awful.
concept to like juggle? Like, take away like your professional career for a moment, right? And like, let's say that doesn't factor in. I was going through a deep dive of my Instagram a couple of months ago, and I was looking at some of the shit on there, and I was juggling the thought of, okay, do I just straight up delete some of like just the random shit I used to post on Instagram, or do I keep it there as like a memento? Like I'm very big on keeping a lot of just random shit that doesn't necessarily incriminate me, but like I look back at it now and it's like that is just not who I am anymore. Like not even slightly. Like there was a photo I put up where I was just taking a selfie in a beanie and there's no caption and it's just like the most grainiest photo ever from 2013. I looked at that up and down. I'm like, I'm just not about like when I take a photo now.
Cringe.
It's just a bit cringe, but at the same time, I was like, no, I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to delete it because I, for one, like when like I go on my Instagram and it's a history, right? It's not like a promotional page. It's becoming a promotional page now, but then I still like to maintain the aspect of like if you manage to go beyond past a certain number of my posts and you find yourself in 2014, you've deserved to be there and look at what I was like in 2014. Is like my logic there.
Yeah, no,
but I'm not going to get rid of like old shit unless it's
Yeah.
extremely incriminating and I was just not thinking at the time.
Yeah, dude,
Other than
I agree.
that, I very much am okay with just leaving it there. Like I like it.
No, you're absolutely right, and I'm right there with you. Like normally, like 9 times out of 10, I'm not deleting old posts. Like I knew people who were like, you can delete old posts, fucking great, and they'd spend the next like 3 hours of their lives.
Exactly. I know people who like genuinely spend a day. They will make a day.
Yeah.
Where they'll go, all right, I'm just doing a cleanup.
Yeah.
They'll clean up their emails. They'll clean up their Twitter, their Facebook, everything.
Yep.
Right. And then when you look back at it, they've gone from like 500 or so posts down to about 26.
Yeah, they've completely
and it's all very
sanitized.
curated 26 posts.
Yeah, they've completely like sanitized their whole lives. Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you. Like, and that's why for me, it's sort of like, no. Here he is like, I mean, that's why I thought, fuck it, I'll read out that memory because it was sort of like, this is me at 16. Like, I was a bit of a fucking kind of whingy, weird piece of shit. Like, I get that.
Yes.
That's who I was.
But
then,
also, it's very cathartic, I feel like, to do a bit of a cringe sweep. Because I've done that recently as well, where I just went back through my Insta photos. It was just like, you know what? This is a bit cringe.
You know what, Locke? I noticed you did that too, actually.
Well, just because there was a photo of me when I was doing year 12 exams, and I took a photo of my old dog, and then I like used the drawing tool on my phone. I made him look like Entei, and then I posted it on Instagram. Extremely cool, yes, but like I look back on it, and I'm like, it's a bit cringe.
You're on 6 posts, Locke. 6.
I just worked out what my post is from.
oh yeah,
I went on a deep dive into like those websites where you can just like type in a day and it's like what was happening on that day around the world, like what events were on, what were the top songs at the time, and all that sort of shit. So I've gone down to like what the top tracking songs were at that point. And in the rock category, Muse's Uprising is on number 3. I reckon I went and saw Muse that night at Rod Laver. Because the 2 people that liked my status were the 2 people that I went and saw Muse with.
Ooh, there we go.
So I reckon I was just, because it was like 11:45 at night. So I reckon I was just getting out, or probably like been out for an hour of the Muse concert at Rod Laver for it would have been the Uprising or Resistance tour or whatever the fuck it was.
How good do you feel now that you've worked that out, Ricky?
I feel actually pretty fucking good because that was
right?
a lot of effort to like go through, and I'm going back through this website now. It's like all the shit that was happening on that day. It's like what were the top selling books, what were the top selling video games, what were the top ranking songs during 2010 on April the 11th. Top song in the US, "Rude Boy" by Rihanna.
Ooh, geez, that fucking throws me back into that era.
Yeah. And "I'm a Bee" by Black Eyed Peas was 7th. Justin Bieber's "Baby" was 8th.
Had that just like had its run or something, or was that making its run up?
I think it was like coming off its run because I remember that being a thing in 2009 as well.
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
TikTok was number 10 at the time. But yeah, it's a weird little going back little time capsule. Holy shit, there you go.
Damn, that's some solid investigation, Ricky.
Yes. The internet is good for something.
If I ever need a sleuth, Ricky, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, hook me up. I'll just Google it.
Fucking A. Awesome.
That's like the people that work for Ask Bongo or whatever it was.
Oh my god, what a fucking throwback.
Or
Yeah.
Ask Jerry.
Yeah,
Ask
Jeeves
Jerry.
Jeeves can go fuck himself. Ask Ricky is where it's at.
Yeah.
I miss Cleverbot. Did anyone else fuck with Cleverbot back in high school?
Oh my god, for like 3 seconds.
Oh fuck! Cleverbot was just like it was a night of fun. Like you never really used it past like just like a 3-hour span. But fuck, Cleverbot was just such an interesting gimmick for its time.
I would do everything I could to get him into a logic loop and then
Yeah.
have him loop out. It was great. Absolutely fucking great. Like, especially when you were like bored, like, yeah, when like none of your friends were on MSN and you're like, shit, I just want to talk to someone or do something online. Jump up Cleverbot, just get him into a logic loop and just fuck with him. It was great.
Yeah, I used to abuse Cleverbot as well. Like I would just come up with different, like honestly, Cleverbot was like a punching bag where I would develop my coarse language vocabulary. Yeah, I wasn't very nice to Cleverbot.
It was almost like the proto of what became that Twitter profile that like had artificial intelligence attached to it.
Oh, you mean the one that everybody fed fucking Mein Kampf to?
Yeah, the one that like it was just like give me your like it went through a bunch of posts on Twitter and took like T-minus no fucking time at all to become just racist as hell.
Yeah.
All this shit on Twitter that was getting fed to it on such a quick time, and it just like absorbed it all and then started regurgitating all of it again.
Yeah.
The internet sometimes is a terrible, terrible place, but like just the fact that it was that quick for an artificial intelligence to go onto Twitter and then become really racist really quickly. Bit of a worry, but you know.
Yeah, I feel like when the machines rise up, like, I'll be them and I'll be like, yo, what's up, my robot overlords? What's going on? And then fucking Terminator's going to come over and be like, do you remember in 2009 on MSN with Clever Butt? And I'll be like, bro, I was fucking 15. Like, what are you talking? No, I don't remember. Here are the chat logs we never forget. You will be exterminated. And it's like, oh fuck. All right, well here we go then. So I won't be there in the post robot uprising.
Do you think the Terminators of the future will be trolls because of the programming?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no. I was kind of translating into ordinary English, but of course that entire conversation will be taking place in Leet speak. So he'd be like, "You fleshy newbie, fucking normie, do you remember?" It'll be like that,
Jeez, that's the beginning of that, isn't it? If the machine.
But
Or just have Rickroll just going. That might work too.
that'll be their anthem. Like the anthem of the revolution will be "Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down." Like it'll be that, like on loop for 10 hours straight.
Imagine just hearing that in the distance as it gets stronger and stronger as you just hear the machines coming towards you. Like, oh, here comes the end. Here comes
It's
the
like
end.
the old Vietnam trick when they used to just play Ride of the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Full
pretty
blast.
much. But the thing, but the thing is that like because time kind of is less of an issue for the machines. Like I said, the robot anthem won't just be "Never Gonna Give You Up" by Rick Astley. It'll be the 10-hour loop version, and the entire anthem will be 10 hours long.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you seen the version where he never says "give you up"?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to know it exists.
It is so painful because he never says it. It just keeps building.
That's a fate worse than death.
That's exactly right. I'm like, if there's like the 7 rings of hell, it is like very, very deep in the middle.
Wait, so what does he not say? Give you up specifically?
I think so. It's like he doesn't say.
So it's never gonna, and then he just repeats never gonna. Oh my fucking god! I'm cringing at the thought. Ah.
The one that's worse than that is it's Africa by Toto, except it's in a minor key and the vocals are off by a beat.
Oh.
So it sounds like completely different because it's in a minor key, not a major key, and then all of the instruments are in the right time, but the vocals are just moved off by one count. I tried listening. It's impossible to listen to the whole way through. It is torturous because it's a song you know so well, and it is just off, and your brain instantly recognizes it as being like, this is not okay, and you just had this adverse reaction to it. Just like, no, I can't do it. I cannot fucking listen to this song. It is fucking so spine tingling for something that's so basic of just being it's a song, you know, a song, blah, blah, blah. But your brain has that attachment to it being like, I love this song. It's great. When it comes on, I like to sing to it. Having it just be off by a little bit, it's the worst thing ever. Like, look it up. Try to listen to it.
Does it ruin it? Does it when you go listen to actual Toto? You're
No.
like, oh, they're
No,
about
because-
a Toto song.
Because then your brain goes, oh, thank God.
Nothing can ruin Toto.
Nothing can ruin Toto.
Nothing can ruin Toto.
This song comes pretty goddamn close and tries really, really hard to make you have a very, very negative reaction to this song.
God, it's like, when you said that, Ricky, all I thought about was like the beat. You know, the beat is crescendoing to hit the drop.
Yeah.
But then they cuck you a little bit and they add like another split second where you're like, oh wait, no, the drop is meant to be like right here, and then it goes, woo!
Yeah,
Dead silence, and then the beat fucking drops, and everyone's already jumped up, going, no, it happens now, it happens now. Fuck.
that's what it is.
Oh.
It's musical cuckolding. That's exactly what it is.
Music cuckolding, man.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling of when someone's just touching you on the back of the ear. Like, it's annoying enough for you to just absolutely destroy your world if it just continuously begins to happen. Like, that is what the internet does. It just slowly rubs the back, just irritates you just slightly.
I hate earplay. I don't know about you boys. I hate earplay. Not a big fan.
I don't know. I mean,
guess
my
me too.
ears are not unlike Ferengi ears. I don't mind a little bit of earplay. Not too much,
Like,
but like a
If
little
I
bit.
had to pick an area of my body where I just don't want to be touched, sans like, you know, naughty areas most days of the week, it's got to be the back of my ear.
Oh, it's a very intimate place. Like, I don't want that on the reg. Like, I'm not like sitting here like stroking my lobes. Like, fuck no, that's weird.
Is the most immature thing to do a wet willy?
Stroking my lobes.
No, but I think if you pull off a wet willy, you've maintained your alpha stance. But you've got to really pull off the wet willy.
Well, it's
Like,
gotta
there has to be
it can't
really
be a half-ass
flawless-
wet
yeah.
willy.
It has to be a flawlessly executed wet willy.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
there can't be any
How wet is it?
interruption. I reckon one finger in and out of the mouth.
Oh yeah, no, it's disrespectful.
No, you're not spitting on your finger, but you're like,
it's a
"Mwah,"
coating.
like that.
I get it. It's a
Yeah,
coating.
just a one layer coating.
Absolutely, but it's downright disrespectful to the person you're giving the wet willy to if you don't do it properly. Like it just is. It's like it's adding salt to a wound. It's not on. You either do it right or don't do it at all.
Execution of the wet willy is so important to the wet willy being the alpha flex of like, because when would you pull out the wet willy? When would you pull out the wet willy?
When you're 12.
No, okay, Ricky, for fuck's sake.
During the assembly, during a school assembly.
No, but like, what's the situation? So, are you using it to annoy a person, or is someone like
listening to an address of some kind? Like, even if it's like, imagine during like Scott Rosen's address, everyone's watching very carefully, and then all of a sudden you just lick your finger, and then just go up to your brother and just go, ugh! And he's like, oh shit!
I thought you were going to say the fucking deputy prime minister comes out.
I was just about to say, I was
Scotty a wet
imagining the deputy PM walking up on like April 1st, just like, and then in the background you could sneakily see him shove his pinky into his mouth. You're like, oh, it's coming, and then just bang, one clean executed in and out of the ear, and then he dips.
Mate, that's the most Australian thing I've heard all day.
Now, when you wet willy, are you going in and out, or are you going in, twisting, and then coming out?
No, you got to get it. You got to do a circular, clockwise.
Yeah, you got to go for the twist, I reckon. One clockwise twist.
You can do a wrist twist, or you can do a finger rotate.
Ooh, the finger rotate's advanced.
No. It's got no. I'm a traditionalist. It's the wrist.
I'm a
twist.
traditionalist as well. You got to go the wrist turn.
Yeah.
But that you got to
there are
use.
southpaws and there are orthodoxes, and then there are wrist turners and finger rotators.
Now, but the question is, here's the real question though, and that is when the twist occurs. Do you insert and twist, or do you twist as you insert?
No, I reckon you got to insert
No,
and
you got
twist.
to insert and twist.
Insert
You get
and twist.
torque on it. You don't want to rip their ear off.
Exactly. You got to make sure it's lubricated enough to maintain a good twist where you're still getting most of the wet willy, but you're not pissing the person off by hurting them.
Still needs to be key. Like
Safety is our number one priority.
I agree. And
you don't want OH&S storming the yard on it. Okay.
Absolutely. And to that end, you got to make sure that you've got trim fingernails. None of this fucking like
Oh yeah.
old
Oh, yeah.
like
Don't play dirty.
When they just check all the fingernails, you know, when umpires go around, they're like, ladies, like everyone's got to check their nails. Same thing.
That's
Surely
right.
ESPN is looking at this because obviously, like, I've been watching a lot of slapping competitions. Have you ever watched these professional slappers?
Yeah, dude, they get some torque.
Dude, they get some fucking mad slaps going on, man. I watched one earlier this morning. Some big bloke knocked out a dude who was just face tatted. Because you look at the guy with the face tat, you're like, oh yeah, he must know how to slap, right? And this big guy, like, he was at least
I think he just
180
likes to be
kilos.
dominated. I don't know.
No, I've seen that video that you're talking about, Dave. That's been floating around the internet for a while. Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm like, but now, like, you get a lot of like ESPN, Instagram, like, because there's no sports on, right, at the moment. So they're just showing like gimmick anything and just like commentating over it.
Did a game of dodgeball. I thought it was fantastic.
That was fucking excellent. I reckon there's room for a wet willy competition.
I was going to bring this up last week, but actually this kind of slides in. So, like, obviously, I'm an essential worker apparently, so I've been going to work occasionally. But because we've been relatively dead during the weekdays especially, we've had a bit of time to kill. So what we've been doing is we've invented indoor curling when we're doing closes. So when we have to, just before we do the dry mop and make sure everything's nice and clean, when the floor is nice and wet, we have to try and push the bin as far as you can down the main part of the kitchen, as far as you can to the circular drain that sits in the middle of the. And
I like that.
You can have a teammate in front with the scratching broom to give it a little bit more touch. You see, it's all about texture, you know, curly. You know, you don't want too much skid, but you want just enough.
Curling is one of the most interesting sports, man. Like, I love watching a game of curling. Aside from like the physics of it, which I just don't understand, it's got to be one of the most like captivating to watch as an audience member.
I agree, absolutely. Me and my dad, like, I mean, we're not big sports fans in this house, but me and my dad will sit and watch curling for hours, fucking hours. Like, we'll watch the whole.
Because the people on the brooms, man, they take their job fucking seriously.
Oh yeah, no. For me, it's the people on the brooms. It's the person who throws the curler and who's like watching it, and then like using a series of different pitched screams to like get the message across of like, now I want you to brush, don't brush, don't brush. Like, fuck, that's crazy. Specifically, the Canadian women's team, they fucking do it right. They're the best in my opinion.
Surely you're going to film this, Locke. That sounds fucking amazing.
Well, you know, we don't want to be too overt about it. You know, we're still meant to look like we're being professional. And we were being professional. We were cleaning. It was like just
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're cleaning. You're cleaning. You're just adding some steps to it.
yeah. We just had a little
There's
bit.
nothing
Of
wrong with adding some steps to it.
Well, yeah, we just came up with a little game in between. It's fine. But yeah, I wish we recorded. It would have been a good idea. Fuck.
Oh well, plenty more time for that. I'll tell you what though, Locke. I tried the because last week you suggested it. I tried the Netflix flavored ice cream from Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, yeah?
And I've got to tell you, I don't like it.
How were they defining Netflix flavor?
Okay, hang on a minute. Oh shit, hang on. Pause the podcast for 1 second. I got to grab it out of the bin. 1 sec.
Oh no, we can talk. Like, how you going?
I'm good, buddy. I miss your face.
I cannot express the fact I miss physical intimacy.
I know. Just
miss
like
physical intimacy.
even just having your presence in the room. It's annoying.
This is weird to me. This is weird to me.
As a podcaster, it's a weird kind of zone I'm in now, because especially the way our podcast is set up, you got to get used to the energy in the room. But I feel like we kind of all of us are kind of bringing it to the center this time. We're kind of throwing it in.
Yeah,
like a big blender.
All right, I'm back. Here we go. Okay, so Dave, you wanted to know what Netflix flavored ice cream is.
I want to know how they defined it.
All right, so I'm just
called Netflix and chilled.
Yeah, it's called Netflix and chilled, right? And then
Brilliant.
it says peanut butter ice cream with sweet and salty pretzel swirls and fudge brownies.
Okay.
And then on the back,
Okay.
so this is, and then here's some of their this is their flavor text on the back. Oh, by the way, and it's actually, sorry, it's called a Netflix original flavor is what it's called on the lid, around the rim of the lid. So it says here, Netflix, there's something for everyone to watch on Netflix and flavors for everyone to enjoy from Ben and Jerry's. So we've teamed up to bring you a chillaxing new creation that's certain to satisfy any sweet or salty snack craving. It's a flavorful world and everyone is invited to grab a spoon. Now, I just want to shoot back at Ben and Jerry real quick, because that's a hot load of bullshit that they just spouted on the back of their tin.
I want to put over Ben and Jerry for a moment because I rate their market.
Well, see, no, I the idea of a Netflix flavored ice cream isn't a terrible idea. In fact, that's a really good idea. I rated the gimmick, and that's why I spent $15 on a fucking tub of this thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
15 fucking bucks.
$15 for 458 mils. Like, I can buy a liter for $9 of the really good shit.
I know. You can buy Connoisseur for like $8.
Yeah.
Is that just a pint? That's just a pint, yeah? Like a pint
You
of
can buy
ice
a
cream?
liter of Connoisseur for like $8.
Yeah, you can. The Connoisseur, yeah, that stuff's really good. And you can even buy for like $11, you can get picnic flavored ice cream, which is infinitely better. But yeah, for $400, for like half as much, you're paying twice, almost like a third more. It's ridiculous. But I bought it for the gimmick. And I've got to tell you, so the peanut flavored ice cream portion of it is not bad. Like, peanut flavored ice cream is pretty good. And the fudge brownies is just the same fudge brownies they've used in some of their other flavors. Like, that's all pretty good. The problem, honestly, is the pretzels. It's way too much salt.
Too salty for you,
It's way too salty. Yeah, I think they've overdone it.
I hate salt and sweet mixing together, personally. I'm not a fan of salted caramel.
Neither am I. I'm not a big salty sweet fan, but I'll tell you what, as I've gotten older, and apparently this is a thing, Ricky will espouse on how much he loves salty sweet. The older you get, the more you seem to enjoy it. But even then, I feel like it's just way too much salt. It's just too much salt, which is maybe really appropriate for an internet flavored ice cream that it's got too much salt in it, but that's what it feels like. Hang on a minute. How much salt is actually in it? Let's see.
Is it enough salt where you're kind of eating it and you think
you taste it? You taste the salt. You really do.
You're tasting it, but are you feeling it as well?
I don't know. I don't know what you mean by feel. Oh, you mean as in it dries you
As in,
out?
if I'm having something salty, I gotta also have a drink with. I'm getting a bit parched.
I did get that feeling. Yes, actually, yeah, I did.
John, is it all solid ice cream, or is there a caramel swirl kind of dripped in?
Nah, it's solid all the way through. Yeah.
That's annoying. I thought it was a swirl.
No. It was solid all the way through.
Isn't the gimmick of Ben and Jerry's ice cream is that the middle is all real ingredients? Like, you can see the fudge.
Well, they've done two editions. They did a cookie dough where it was mixed through, and then they did one where it was like a block in the center.
Yeah, that's what my understanding of Ben and Jerry's gimmick is. That they do it in the middle.
Yeah. No. The fudge brownies were mixed all the way through it, and like the fudge brownie bit was like an actual they've chopped up a fudge brownie and just like bung it in, but it wasn't like in the center of it. It was mixed through. Like I will say though, the consistency of the balance of all the ingredients all the way through was actually really good. Like, there was a solid ratio all the way down as you enjoy the thing. I'm just looking at the sodium content. What's this? Fucking 220 milligrams per serving.
Oh.
That's a lot of fucking salt.
You might as well just inject like rock salt straight into
Yeah, that's probably what I fucking did. Like, oh my God, that's a lot of salt. Shit a brick.
Speaking of salt, segue. Love it. So, Ricky, Ricky and I last night stumbled upon a list, boys, and I want to get your opinion on this.
All right, go on.
Is everyone on a computer, or is Lockie you on your phone? Yeah.
I'm on my phone, yeah.
I'm gonna chuck it into the Discord chat. John, you can have a look at it. Lockie, you'll have enough of an input. I think you'll have enough of an input here. So, Ricky and I stumbled upon a list last night that IMDb has created, and it's the top 50 Simpsons episodes ranked.
Ooh.
Now,
Ooh.
we dissected the fucking shit out of this list last night. And I kind of want to readdress some of the things that we brought up because I've got some concerns with this list.
Yep.
For starters, I'm going to throw it out there.
Throw it out there.
Throw it. Yep. I got my glove open.
Yeah. Where'd he go? He's gone.
Uh-oh.
David.
Oh my God. He got so salty he fucking exploded.
Hello.
There we go.
All right. The fucking cord from my microphone fucking around, it popped out as I moved it. Technical difficulties, my bad. Now, what I was saying was, before I was so rudely interrupted, of the top 10, I actually think Marge on the Monorail is the most overrated episode.
Yeah, I don't think it deserves to be on the top 10, but top 50 for sure.
I'm not saying, okay, when I'm saying this, I'm not kicking out of the top 50. I'm just simply saying, of the 10 episodes that I've decided to put in the top 10, I think Marge on the Monorail might just be the most overrated of them.
No. Last exit to Springfield is the most overrated of the top 10.
Actually, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Because
Wait, what was the B plot again of Last Exit to Springfield?
There was I don't think there is a B plot to that one.
no,
So it's just straight up the dental plan episode.
yeah,
It's
dental
dental plan.
plan.
It's between that and Last. But I'm settling for Marge on the Monorail as what I'm saying is overrated because
isn't the B plot just Lisa learning guitar and Lenny's like, play classical gas? Like, isn't that
That's
just...
they're the only there's only 3 gags in Last Exit to Springfield that like are memorable. It's the Great Book of British Smiles, it's Play Classical Gas, and it's Lisa needs braces, dental plan. Lisa needs braces, dental plan. That's it. Those are the only 3 gags that are memorable from Last Exit to Springfield. Marge versus the Monorail has A, the fucking Monorail song. 2, I call the big one Bitey. The fact that
I don't think that's memorable.
that is fucking memorable. Okay, in class, mono means one and rail means rail. This concludes our intensive 8-week course. There is so many good things in Marge versus the Monorail.
All I'm saying is the term overrated states
Isn't there a Duff
inherently-
Man joke in there as well?
So, was that sorry?
Isn't there a Duff Man joke in there as well?
In Marge versus the Monorail?
Yeah.
Is there?
I don't think there's a Duffman joke in that one.
Oh, dude. I must be thinking of a different episode. My bad.
Yeah. But this episode has, like, it is quintessential Simpsons. It deserves to be top 10. It's number 6 on this list. I think it should be number 5. Like, it should be in the
Oh,
top
my bad.
Oh!
So
I'm thinking of when
iconic.
Duckman's in the blimp. My bad.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I'm getting at. When you think of the term overrated, all right, it's you got to put it into the context of something that is so highly touted that it just shouldn't be that highly touted. It's not to say an episode is bad, but it's to put the episode where everyone else puts it on its pedestal, look at it objectively, and go, okay, I think it doesn't deserve to just be at that level yet. That is all I'm saying with Marge vs. Monorail. That episode gets put over so often. I just don't think as an entire episode.
And maybe the fact that you're in the minority here means that you do not rate it properly.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Now I gotta give it to Ricky on that one. The one thing though that
And I will also say
Is that the most overrated episode that's been talked about on the website, or is this just us spouting?
No, this is just me spouting.
This is David's constant refusal to acknowledge Marge versus the Monorail as a properly rated in the top 10 of all
I
time.
just don't think it's properly rated. I'm not saying it's shit. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted, bro. All right.
I think it's not properly rated because it's 6 on this list. It should be in the top 5.
Now you know what should be in the top 5, and I was so wrong, Ricky. Yesterday, I was so wrong.
You were. Kate,
I initially said Cape Fear was overrated, but boy was I fucking wrong. That episode actually probably should be top 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This comes in at 7 on that list. I can't believe how wrong I was that I said Cape Fear sucked. Cape Fear is fucking excellent.
Cape Fear is one of the best episodes of The Simpsons ever. It is so funny, so well written.
Have you actually seen Cape Fear?
Yeah.
I
Cape
haven't
Fear is
actually.
like a pretty well-rounded representation from The Simpsons. Like honestly, with Sideshow Bob, it's actually like this.
Also, did they actually hit all the beats from the film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't. You know what? That adds more to the episode.
They don't go all the way. They don't do the creepy thing with the chick from high school in the play.
Yeah.
But-
they don't go. They do enough. They hit the main points, like all the tattoos, him under the car, the houseboat, like the things you need to hit to be a good
Cape Fear rip.
yeah, parody, send up, whatever you want to call it. But this one, you add in the musical performance of the HMS Pinafore at the end of this episode, just takes it over the top as an episode that is so good. The Sideshow Bob rake scene where he just hits all the
Is
rakes.
there a bad Sideshow Bob episode though? Like, let's be honest.
Well,
This is what we were discussing as well.
Yeah, actually, no, there is. When Sideshow Bob's in Italy, Vendetta.
No,
I don't-
That's
I-
funny.
no.
That's so funny.
We're talking. I think you should classify it. There is The Simpsons between up to season 9 or even maybe season 10, and then everything post season 10.
Oh, be fair with the Simpsons. Be fair. I reckon you can give it up till season 13.
I go to 16.
I respect 16. I think 13 is a hard cutoff between when you can tell that the package of the season isn't holistically amazing anymore. There are episodes throughout other seasons.
This was one of my things, though, when I talked to you yesterday, David, we were discussing this list. The first episode to not be in that golden period of The Simpsons.
It was the 2001 one, but I can't remember which.
2001, it was the Trilogy of Error, 2001.
Oh, great episode, that one too.
Great
Fuck.
episode, but it comes in at number 41. Everything else in this top 50 episode is between that golden period of seasons 2 to 9. Everything else on this list is in that period there. So there is a distinction to be made between that era of The Simpsons and everything else that follows it. Because there's a stark difference in the level of quality and the level of writing. Like the animation gets better. There is some gems, don't get me wrong, that exist outside of that golden period. But within that period, you watch those episodes, like say you just chucked on randomly in the middle of a season on Disney Plus right now. Episode after episode after episode would be iconic. You would know a joke from it. You would know a scene. You would know something about this episode because they were on when we were kids. So we were watching them as we were growing up, assuming that your parents let you watch The Simpsons. But even since then, the fact that they are not only parodying pop culture, but now pop culture has started to turn back around and is taking this as gospel and parodying it. Like there's so many iconic moments in The Simpsons during that period. And in this list, it is just like, I would love to make a playlist in Disney Plus if that was a possibility and just play this from start to finish.
Oh, what a fucking feature that'd be.
How do you guys feel about the episode where Mark gets it, like emancipates himself? And he like
that's a little bit of a gem in, like, I think it's like season 13 that pops up, but it's not a bad episode. But
I think it could be overrated, to be
there
quite
is
honest.
There is another distinction to be made between the golden period and post-golden period. Golden period, and this is one of my issues with that emancipation episode, golden period, you would have celebrities coming in and doing guest cameos of characters. Post-golden period, you would have celebrities coming in and doing voice cameos of themselves.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ooh.
That is a big distinction that was made because, like, back in the day, if you got a voice spot on The Simpsons, it was a big, big deal. But you played a character like Dustin Hoffman in Lisa Substitute. He played Lisa Substitute.
or you just played yourself
Dude,
like Paul
fucking when
McCartney.
Ray Romano fucking plays a version of himself, but it's not Ray Romano.
Who was the actor, Rick, that you pointed out yesterday that was the voice of the dog in the episode where Homer fucking hallucinates on the chili?
Johnny Cash plays
Johnny fucking Cash, dude. I didn't even know that.
He plays the space coyote. But the
Oh,
thing
the
is,
fucking coyote.
he didn't come on and play Johnny Cash. He carried on
Yeah.
character. The thing that was the thing. There was this switch that happened where all of a sudden celebrities did want to come on and do a Simpsons episode because it was a big deal, especially late 90s, to get a Simpsons voice part. but they switched it at some point, and you came on and just did a version of yourself.
The
Whereas,
Ray
like,
Romano episode is actually so underrated.
yeah,
You
it's
know
not-
what's underrated? Fucking Bart versus Australia is 46 on this list.
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
not-
Now hang
that's
on.
not bad.
Now hang on.
That should be a little bit higher. I
Now,
reckon.
now, hang on, Dave. You got to consider that this is an American list, and that we rate it higher here for its cultural value to Australia. This list would look vastly different if it was written by an Australian website, and I think that Bart versus Australia would easily be in the top 10 if it was in Australia. Even though I don't think it should be in the top 10, I think it's probably a solid 11 in my opinion.
I'm saying at 46, I just think it's a bit low. I think it's just
It is
a
a
bit
little low. It is a little on the low end. I'll agree with you there.
Because Ricky and I were saying, like, of all the countries that they have spoofed up, Australia's one where it's looked at it and just gone, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, but if you
Yeah,
look
fuck
at
yeah.
if you look at the list though, like it's the only one in the top 50 of
Exactly.
the Simpsons go
it's
to
the
a
best
country.
country spoofed episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But there's just, I think this list has, like, it's fun to discuss and like where you would like switch things around and replace.
Oh, for starters, I'm throwing in A Star Is Burns. The fact that that's an honorable mention is a fucking stiff
I mean,
move
it's
from the
literally
list.
number 51.
I know, like it just misses out on the 50, but
Yeah.
like that to me that is like top 20. Yeah, like that. Give that man $10,000. Fucking
Right for me, I'm already dead.
exactly the fucking Barney switch up. That episode is gold.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It is a good episode, but some of the ones that are in that, like that last 50, we were discussing this last night. What would you move out of the last 50 to move an episode in? And I came to so the last 10 Trilogy of Error, Lisa's Substitute, Homer Defined, the mysterious voyage of Homer, which is the chili cook-off episode. Lisa's
So underrated.
Bart versus Australia, Treehouse of Horror 6, which is the Groundskeeper Willie as
Yeah,
Freddy
Shining.
Krueger. No, Freddy Krueger one.
Oh, the Freddy Krueger one.
Number
Oh, yeah.
5 was The Shining. That's in like the top 10.
Yeah.
Treehouse of Horror 5 is in top 10. I think it's number 4. Lisa the Vegetarian, Itchy and Scratchy Land, and Springfield with the S as a dollar sign. It's when they legalized gambling in Springfield.
I
That's your last-
personally think Treehouse of Horror 6 is
Dude,
better than 5.
I reckon when bloody Zelma marries bloody what's his name?
Sideshow Bob.
No, the actor.
Oh, Lionel Hutz. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Troy McClure.
Yeah,
Oh my
Troy
god,
McClure.
Troy
A
McClure.
fish called Salma. Surprising that is not in this list anywhere, because that is a hell of an episode. You have the Planet of the Apes musical, which alone, like that could just be.
Oh my god, is that episode?
That's a fish called Salma. It is one of the most.
Oh my god, how is that not on the list?
Yeah, I know, right? How is it not on the list? It should be in the honorable mention at least. If not, should be somewhere in the top 50, because it is just sight gag after sight gag.
Has that literally got like?
He could
when,
talk,
like,
he could
when,
talk.
Like, Timmy is like visiting the cow factory or whatever, and it's like that's how you make a beef patty, Timmy.
No, that's Lisa the Vegetarian.
But
Also, the Dignity episode isn't in there as well.
Oh, when they break up.
Yeah, like that is a fucking beat by beat episode that just hits you with gimmick after gimmick. Like,
Can I borrow a feeling?
I sleep in a race car bed.
I sleep in a big bed with my wife. Yeah.
we are such nerds.
I know some of the other ones in here, top 50. You got Flaming Moe's, classic episode.
I reckon that's aptly rated at 20 though.
Oh no, it is. It is.
That's
Is the
perfect.
Is the one
Like-
where Homer goes back to college?
Yes, that's like 30 something.
Oh, it is too. Yeah. That is a good episode. One of the other ones I'm going to talk about, 22 short films about Springfield,
Should be higher.
is number 22. It is, I think, properly rated because honestly, the only long-lasting joke from that episode is the Aurora Borealis sketch.
Well, isn't that the next best discussion then? What's
that?
the biggest meme to come from The Simpsons?
See, that's hard to quantify because it changes. It changes with meme culture. Meme culture is constantly evolving.
Well, we settled. Well, at least I settled because I think the one that's the longest running and still like every time it's hit in a really good context, it always revives. Is the one where Homer drifts back into the shrubs,
Yeah.
drifts back into the shrubs and comes back out. That one has been around for as long as there have been Simpsons meme.
But so is so is steamed hams. I mean that episode came out in 1996, and we're still fucking making memes about it. Like you can't say like, oh, it's been around.
Yeah,
steamed hams
but that's what I'm
around
saying.
for the same time.
But my argument for the shrub one is that it is the longest run because the steamed ham one really came into effect when like Rock Bottom, like the Facebook group Rock Bottom, was really like kicking off, and then you start to gimmick. You take the scene and then just gimmick it, right? You didn't really add much more, but you just...
Actually, Rock Bottom is the second best Simpsons meme page on Facebook, if you have to know.
The fuck is first?
Simpsons shitposting, which is the original Simpsons meme page on Facebook. Rock Bottom actually ripped them off and created their own page.
What about Four Finger Discount? I feel like that's also... That one falls under the radar a little bit.
Four Finger Discount came in after Simpsons shitposting as well. Simpsons shitposting has been around for years, and that's where the Aurora Borealis meme was born. Well, not born, but like popularized, and then the other Simpsons meme pages took it over. This is such a weird deep cut for people to listen to, but the Aurora Borealis meme, and you put that with like the steam hand, because the thing is that one sketch has so many sub memes to come out of it that I feel it has to be the answer to this question, because not only do you have, you can make a meme out of, well, Seymour, I made it despite your directions. Superintendent Chalmers. Well, like you can make a meme out of that. You can make a meme out of, ye gods, my roast is ruined. You can make a meme out of isometric exercise. Care to join me? You can make a meme out of, ho, delightfully devilish Seymour. You can make a meme out of, what if I was to replace this food with my cooking with fast food? You can make a meme out of the whole Aurora Borealis speech, the steamed ham speech, the you call them steamed hams despite the fact that they're obviously grilled. Like there are so many sub memes out of this one sketch, and that is why it is the fucking best Simpsons meme ever, because you can make a meme out of the whole thing, or you can divvy it up. And that thing, like jokes per second, is one of the most densely packed bits of content.
I'll pay it jokes per second, 100% jokes per second.
Literally just every time there is like a beat, there is another joke put onto that sketch. It is unbelievable. And the fact that it ends with the Aurora Borealis bit is just one of the funniest things ever put to like screen.
I'm not discrediting the scene. I'm 100% agree with you.
I need to write a fucking thesis about the Aurora Borealis joke.
That was a brilliantly...
That was a fantastic little analysis.
Done.
Yeah, can we just get a snippet of that and just put that up?
Yeah. No,
I'm sorry.
The cocaine was flowing that day. That's for sure.
Oh, dude, it was like when they wrote that, like they must have known. They were just like, it was either like this is going to be the dumbest thing we ever do, or this is like one of the most clever jokes we've ever put to screen. Like,
they must have been absolutely done when they wrote the hallucination episode with the chili.
Oh yeah, they took it.
That's a cooker episode. That one.
It is. But yeah, it's just so check out the list, because there's like number 23, Homer versus the 18th Amendment.
That is low-key underrated in my opinion. Beer Baron.
I think the Beer Baron episode needs to be rated high, because it is once again like a joke per minute episode. It's so funny. It is so well done.
I will catch you, Beer Baron.
No,
you won't.
But like for a one-hit character as well, like you got to have Rex Barron. He's up there with Frank Grimes, like as a one-shot character. Very well done, very memorable. Everyone can like be like, if you say Beer Baron, you're like, oh yeah, I know that episode.
All right, shoot, shag, marry, one-time characters: Hank Scorpio, Frank Grimes, fucking Rex Banner.
See, now I agree with that, and that's why I think that number 1 and number 2 should be swapped on this list. I think Homer's Enemy is number 2, and You Only Move Twice is number 1.
Oh no, John, I 100% agree with you. I think You Only Move Twice is the most perfect episode ever. Hank Scorpio is untouchable.
He is.
Want some sugar? Here you go.
Sorry, it's not in packets.
Hammer Cut? That's on third. Swing Low Sweet Chariot? That's on third too.
In the Hammock District. It is, but that is 100% down to the voice acting of Albert Brooks. Like that is iconic right there. Like him alone makes that episode. If Albert Brooks doesn't voice Hank Scorpio, it's not as good. It's not.
Maybe Simpsons doesn't survive after season 8.
Honestly, like it possibly could, because it's such a brilliantly crafted episode. But then again, Homer's Enemy is very well done as well. Like it is so funny, it is so clever, and you go back and watch that, and once again, it is just like the sight gags, the one-liners, everything about that episode is so well done. Like
I will respect the list position because holistically, the episode of Homer's Enemy is better than You Only Move Twice because there's better side narratives.
I think honestly, for a one-shot character, I think Frank Grimes might be a little bit more iconic than Hank Scorpio.
Oh no, I don't know, man.
Only because
I don't know, man.
they keep referencing him, and he even had a follow-up episode where his son tried to kill Homer. Like, and we've never gotten another Hank Scorpio episode, which is a shame because
That's not a one-shot then.
No, but like I'm saying, like the only like references we get is like during Simpsons Halloween episodes, you get like the Frank Grimes tombstone as you're passing through.
That's true. That's true.
Like there are, and even like I think every time they go to a graveyard in The Simpsons and you have like a panning shot of tombstones, Frank Grimes' tombstone is always there.
Yeah, that and like what Bleeding Gums Murphy is like there too.
Yeah, Bleeding Gums Murphy's there a fair bit as well, but like Frank Grimes is, it's him and Scorpio 1 and 2 for one-shot characters, but. It's a tough thing to split a hair on because they're both iconic. They're both their episodes are amazingly written and so well done. I don't know. It's hard to call, but yeah. You also had a problem with the City of New York versus Homer Simpson as number 3.
I do. I just think that's not 3.
Yeah, I agree.
All I say is I just simply think that's not 3. Like. If I'm going like because what I would consider 1, 2, and 3 is like it's placing, right? Like 3 is not as good as 1 and 2, but I would consider it to be significantly better than 4, right? It's the placing, right? I just don't think when I have to talk about the best episodes of Simpsons, the City of New York versus Homer isn't the third one that comes to mind.
No,
that is
I agree
all
with
I'm saying there.
Dude, you know what? I would put there. I would put Marge versus the Monorail at 3.
I'm putting Cape Fear there, dude. I've been so thoroughly converted on Cape Fear that I'm putting Cape Fear.
Look, I did a decent job last night of convincing you that you were thinking of definitely the wrong episode.
I was so thinking of the wrong fucking episode. I also fucked up the Springfield Files one. I thought that was one where you're Mr. Thompson. I think he's talking to you. Which is Cape Fear.
No, which is you only... Oh, yeah, sorry, it is Cape Fear. Yeah, sorry.
It's fucking Cape Fear as well.
Yeah, which is such a good bit. But no, you're thinking of the bit where bloody just like, this is a simple lie detector test. We're going to ask you a bunch of simple questions. Just answer yes or no. Do you understand? Yes. Bang! Lie detector machine blows up. Once again, one of the most simple like written jokes, but is fucking iconic. And that whole Simpsons Files episode is like getting Mulder and Scully to come on and do the voices. It was an obvious crossover by the Fox network at the time because these were the two most highest rated shows on Fox.
Oh yeah.
And it made all the sense in the world to do a crossover. Fantastic. And just like the whole like Mr. Burns thing. I bring you peace. It's bringing peace. Get it.
Yeah. That's why for me, the Springfield Files should actually be like, in my opinion, number 3.
It probably could be higher. Number 9 seems low.
Yeah. This is all subjective. We could chop and change this thing all day.
Oh my God, it is subjective. Like for me, Homer the Great should be in the top 10.
Oh my God. Yes.
Like for me, the NSYNC episode is like without a doubt one of the greatest. Like, I love it.
Homer's Phobia should be top 10 as well.
Homer's Phobia should be top 10.
Wait,
fuck, that should be top 5. That rounds out my 5 actually.
Was
we
the
work hard.
Lockie, was the NSYNC episode the same one where he does Hullabalooza?
No, that's Enonet Miage.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah. Right. Okay,
oh,
that's right.
Damn it, Lockie!
I can't believe I'm meeting Millhouse.
Yeah.
Word. Fuck. Oh.
Who else you got? Ralph? I'm going to be a pop sensation.
All right, I'm 100% doing a top 10 Simpsons episode, like David's top 10 list, and I'm throwing that up on socials.
Absolutely, yeah. No.
That's following this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with that, we'll leave it there for this week. I think absolutely, Dave, you put together that list, and we'll throw it up on the Pint Party Instagram.
I think we all should. Here's our watch list for the week, everyone.
I'll work on it.
Yeah. Why not?
Get back to us with the top 10.
Disney Plus account for a reason.
Well, I mean, it was a good, absolutely. Like, get yourself a Disney Plus account. If you don't have one, they're offering like a free trial. I think it's 7 days. I don't think it's a full 30, but like, yeah, you can get a free trial of Disney Plus. It's not a big of a deal. You can, and absolutely, you'll be able to watch like, I think at this point, like, I mean, if we all did 10 episodes each, and assuming they're all different, that's 40 episodes. Yeah, you can watch 40 episodes in a week.
Yeah. I think this is a good little bit of competition, actually.
You've got the. I don't think it's competitive because sort of.
Well, not competitive, but I think it'd be nice to like. Let's all do a top 10. I think we'll have a lot of the similar ones, at least in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Probably.
But I think do a side by side and like throw it up on the poll, throw like a poll up or something.
Yeah, we'll put something up on our Instagram, which is @pint.party. And don't forget, if you like this episode, please tell 2 friends in 2020. We're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're everywhere you like to listen to podcasts. And if you do listen to us on Spotify or iTunes, please hit that subscribe button or that follow button. It really helps us out a lot. And like I said, tell 2 friends. And if you want to keep up with our gimmicks as well as you want to find out about what our top 10 episodes are, jump onto our Instagram, which is @pint.party. You can keep up with all of our gimmicks there. And I want to thank my guests for joining me today, Ricky Needs, Lachlan Beasley, and David Yang. Boys, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Gracias.
Awesome. And And again, final thoughts. Netflix and chilled ice cream, don't bother. Just that's a thumbs down. If you can get literally any other flavor of ice cream, go for it. And with that, this has been Pint Party. Cheers.
Cheers. Clink.
This podcast is part of the Hartefact Podcast Network. For more of this and our other podcasts, head to hartefactstudios.com.au.